Hello Shanks, hi chat. Hope you are all doing good. Hey man, awkward glove pizza guy. Thanks for your first message in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Caesar is also in the building. If you are traveling, only talk about food. Yes sir, food is a very good subject. And I cannot have enough food. I like food a lot. We have the red Alvin player Mustafa at the bottom side. He has a Malone tree into a very offensive barracks coming up. On the other side, we see the Man of the West player who's building a barracks and one farm. So now in this Champions League so far, this was one of the matchups in which the Man of the West faction was struggling against Alvin faction, but maybe the blue Man of the West player Maru can change the statistics. Pineapple on a pizza, oh my goodness, who likes that, by the way? I mean, look, I don't want to argue about taste and stuff like this, but pineapple on pizza, come on dude, why would you do that? It's like when you eat dinner without flesh. Like there are some, you know, how can I say, vegan people, right? Vegan people, they don't eat, I can't even talk today, what is going on with my brain? They don't eat flesh, so they would go to a dinner thing, and they would say, I want to have a dinner without flesh. Why? Then just don't eat it. Go eat some vegan stuff. I don't get it. And they pay also the same price, by the way. That's crazy. My sis is pregnant. I will be uncle. Oh my goodness, D-Mac. Congratulations, my dude. I'm happy for you. Being being an uncle is a lot of responsibility. Happy to hear that. Creeping action is going on.
Banana King Beta just resubscribed for 12 months. Ahoy. Now hold my oath fulfilled.
Oh, Banana, I was not expecting to see you in the chat, bro. I was not expecting to see you in the chat, but you are, I mean, we learned about you that you are a man of your word. And there comes, from the challenge, the tier 2 sub. Now, a sub for 12 months, my dude. Thank you so much for 1 full year. Banana, thank you so much. I donate money towards him to help him to get the things he needs. I make challenges for him to grow his channel and get more people to play the game. I try to spread love, not just from money, but I mean, again, obtain humanity. I think everybody who is aware what you are doing can tell you that you have done a lot of stuff. Let's be real. You have done a lot of stuff and nobody can ever complain about you. And asking for more is greed, and that's a horrible behavior. Being greedy, not being satisfied from what you get. Like imagine you are working for a company and you want to have a raise of money every single month. It's a matter of time they will kick you out because they cannot handle that. The greediness, you know, instead of being grateful once in your life and trying to become happy with the small things you got. If people are always tending to want more and more and more and more and more, only the sky can be the limit and you can never be satisfied in your life. Sometimes I believe we need to kind of step back a little bit and kind of be happy about what we got. And I can't understand this greed, you know. Just be happy once, you know what I'm saying? Be happy, be grateful, because that's definitely something which is not normal, you know. Like that somebody comes and supports you this way. Nobody is forced to do that, you know what I'm saying? But if you want always more and more and more, I believe you will never be happy. And I kept saying that all the time. It's, you know, when you want to stream a game, especially Battle for Middle-earth games, it's about love, not about the money. I like this game a lot. I enjoy this game a lot, and trying to create some sort of competition, making the game more interesting for the people, for the players, is just what I'm aiming for, you know? And donations should be never expected. I believe going to stream on Twitch for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours a day for years and years and end, just to expect money every single time you are streaming is just not the best time investment, in my personal opinion. Because I don't like the idea of relying on other people to make money, you know what I'm saying? When I get a raise from 0 to 0.1 cent. But it's about love, you know what I'm saying? It's about love. Like for me, why we are playing BFME games in 2022? It's because we enjoy it. It's OG game. It's an old school game. It reminds us to our childhood in which we had a lot of fun, and we are still trying to keep this small but lovely game alive all together. And when we would care about money that much, I believe nobody would ever play BFME. And that's also about the tournaments. Of course, it's nice when you can win some money from time to time, but that should not be the main reason why you're playing it. Because if you want to just win $100 from a tournament and that forces you to play like 9 series, best of 5, best of 7, best of 9, that would mean you need to play countless amount of hours to get to the cash prize. When it's about $100, trust me on that one, guys, you can earn this money faster by doing something else. But it's about playing your favorite game, enjoying your time. It's our hobby at the end of the day, and still being able to win some money from a tournament. That's what I would like to call a win-win situation. Big pushes incoming, by the way, from the Alvin units. The barracks is the target, and it will be taken down. In the meantime, we have a counter-attack going on, and I believe the Alvin barracks is also going down. They are going for a small base trade. Beautiful trample is coming in into the backline on the soldiers, but the Lancers, they cannot do much more. The barracks has been taken down. In the meantime, this barracks has also been taken down. They have a trebuchet expansion around the fortress, and now the commitment on the stable. The worst possible timing, is it gonna be one of these timings in which the Gondor Knights are riding for death and glory, or only for death? Yeah, they are riding for death. Without glorious charge, there cannot be victory. And that's 500 resources gone into the trash, into the garbage. But he was able to save one of the Gondor Knights, and if he builds so well, they can sustain about what time. Give them whole ground stands to make them stop from auto engaging. The stable is going to be definitely taken down. Great amount of damage. But look at this. At the same time, Maro is doing the same thing against Mustafa. Also, the stable from Mustafa is going to be taken down. This army is looking dangerous to me. He has Gondor Knights, pikemen, swordmen. He has everything what it needs, what it takes. But in the meantime, look at the map control. Mustafa is expanding, building multiple Malone trees to keep his eco and his command points as high as possible. We have 500 command points for Mustafa and 400 command points for Man of the West. He has 9 power points collected. Is he gonna try to commit against the fortress? He shouldn't, because he has not a DPS he needs to be able to take it down. In the meantime, we have almost 10 power points collected for Mustafa after the heal, after the rallying call, sorry. He might need to use it defensively, because he might even lose the fortress to that one. You know what I'm saying? With Gondor Knights and eventually more Galadriel warriors coming up, that's a very smart move from Maru to capture this in, which will work like a barracks. But he was already replacing his barracks and also his archery range. So pretty good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's I can understand that, you know, but sometimes you gotta be just happy. Like, but I mean, I'm sure it's true, but I also, I mean, I think you give him like $700, right? $700. I believe in order to win or earn $700 in Lebanon, normal people would need to work maybe for 3 to 4 months. You know what I'm saying? And I also support him every time when I can. I give him also donations, I give him subs, I gift him subs and stuff like that. But I feel like at some point you gotta be happy, you know. You gotta be also satisfied a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Glorfindel is back on the menu, boys. Very true. We have also Arvin on the menu. That's Alvin playstyle from Mustafa, but he has no barracks on the field anymore, boys. That means he has no more unit production anytime soon. Maro in the meantime is recovering. He was able to get barracks up on the field, archer range up on the field. He will be now once again actively able to fight for the map control. Yeah, again, everybody is different, you know. Everybody is different. Everybody has a different mindset. But I believe we humans, and I'm just not talking about one guy or about 5 guys, I'm just talking about a general thing what I've also discovered in my life myself. We humans, we always try to find a way of being unhappy, of being not happy, instead of trying to find the one thing which can make us happy. Like, I'm telling you guys, in the films it was shown like dwarves are the greedy creatures, but in reality it's the humans. You know, we are greedy. We want always more, because we forget about the great last night when we have a bad day today, you know. The Malone tree is going to be taken on in the middle. 11 power points collected after the rallying call and heal for elves. On the other side, we have Lone Tower. Rallying Call. Lone Tower was summoned, by the way. I believe defensively. Let me check where he was summoning the Lone Tower at. No, he was summoning it offensively. That is the offensive barracks for Maru. And he will now keep pressuring this area all the time. Hello, Dragon Aiden. Welcome. I saw a really bad film called White Link that had Arvin in it. You mean the actor? I mean, Arvin is beautiful. I think she was one of the most famous persons actually in the films. Like, she was also playing in the film from Bruce Willis, right? I don't know the name of the film anymore, but I think I've seen her in the film from Bruce Willis.
We come to protect Middle Earth.
Dwarves are greedy because of the rings of power. Liv Tyler, yeah, true, very true.
We are called to war.
400 command points only for men, and we have 454 elves. Elves are still kind of ahead though, despite the fact that he has no barracks up on the field. I mean, he can obviously recruit more and more peasants from the inn at the top left side, but that's about it. He cannot do much more. Haldir is on the sword, chasing down those Rohan Spearman units. Should be able to get to level 2. We have double hero. Glorfindel is now level almost 5, by the way. Arvin is level 3, has Atelas. And also Elven player went for the heal. Heal is almost back up. So with Atelas and also the heal from the spellbook, the Elven heroes should be able to absorb lots of damage. And they have lots of sustain. The Lone Tower with Elven Galadrim warriors inside of that. For a great protection of this pathway. The barracks might be also taken down. I mean, I don't like the positioning that much. It protects kind of the farm and the inn only. But if you position that here, I think you could have protected the barracks and also the farm here. The mist is going to be unlocked now from the spellbook. Arvin is coming. And with Arvin and Glorfindel, he might be able to take down the tower. But again, the tower has some garrison units. The barracks is going to be definitely taken down. The power points are rising to the sky. We have more spearmen coming on the field. But as long as Arvin and Glorfindel are dismounted, they will become also much more tanky against those pikemen. So I think it's a great tool to be dismounted in situations like that. Because the Man of the West player is spamming all the time Rohan Spearman. There comes Glorfindel level 6, has now the Wind Rider. When he gets the chance to be mounted, he can use it for additional armor and also movement speed. And we have also Elrond. Guys, literally the fellowship of the Elven army, Elven heroes. And that's what I'm talking about, by the way. I believe if you get the chance to level up all these heroes, they can be literally your biggest win condition ever. Like, just talk about the sustain possibilities a little bit. So basically, the daddy and the daughter, right, they have both Atelas, right? So that means heal from the spellbook. So lots of sustain. And once this dude gets level 5, the restoration will be healing also and fully refreshes their special ability. So they can use the Atelas once again. And also the same goes to Glorfindel with the Starlight, you know. Also heal. So basically infinite heal for the Elven heroes. That's kind of crazy. 7 power points collected. The mist is still available, and in a big fight, the Elven player might use the mist to debuff the enemy units, make them weaker, and make them deal less damage to you. And then you can just dive in with your heroes and win the fight. He's gonna use Rallying Call on the one Lorien warrior. He used the Rallying Call to kill the pikemen. And missed. Why would you waste that? What? That was a big no play from Mustafa there. You know, he was kind of going all out on the one Lorien warrior with Rallying Call into mist. That's painful. But the thing is, guys, that the Elven player is getting really close to the point in which he might get the chance to summon the eagles. Remember, 15 power points after the mist, you will get the chance to summon the eagles. And right now, as we are talking, there is not a lot that can hurt those eagles. So they can kill those Gondor Knights, they can kill those Rohan Spearmen, no problemo. And that would be a great situation. And also fish you power points at the very same time. Now the tower will be committed against. The tower is the focus from the Elven player. The man player can go for rebuild, but that wouldn't change the fact because Glorfindel with Blade of Purity is just hitting like an absolute truck. And there comes the level 6 and level 5. Arvin needs only one more level. Then we will get the chance to see the nerfed flood in the version 8.5. In the version 8.4, the flood was dealing crazy amount of damage. You could basically go to the spot and one-shot the barracks and archery range in the level 3 farms in no time. But in the version 8.5, they nerfed the damage from flood quite a lot. We have also now Elma, the Horse Lord of Rohan, is joining the battlefield as the first hero, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing is, every minute that passes through, I believe it's going to benefit the Alvin heroes. They will get more and more and more levels. And Elrond is impossible to be catched by the infantry. This guy is like, he's sprinting. Like, there is no way that those pikemen can ever catch him. You can only catch him with Gondor Knights and Elma. But he's fast enough. He has also, I believe, the heal from the spellbook. Yes, sir. Heal is available. He can turn and fight to get the level 3 Atelas unlocked. Just turn and fight. That's going to be his plan. Boom. And really close to level 3. Boom. How can you fight that now? Haldir is also here. Level 5. They have both leadership. Again, leadership in Rise of the Witch King doesn't stack. But he's taking so much damage. Run now. Heal is going to be used. Atelas is on cooldown. Run, Elrond. Run, Agent Smith. Or duplicate yourself just like you did in Matrix. The heroes are not in position. And actually, the one Gondor Knight in Elma might be able to take down the ruler of Rivendell. There comes the pikeman, and Elrond will be barely able to get in safety. Haldir was never the target, and also Haldir has a stun, by the way. So basically, we are not talking about the Alvin heroes and saying, okay, they have a lot of sustain. No, they have also lots of stun. So Cloudbreak is one of them. Cloudbreak, stun, boom, stun them. Golden Arrow, boom, stun them again. Starlight, boom, stun them again. And the only possible way to have a mobile fear resistant for the Man of the West army is Gandalf being level 5. That's the only possible way. They have now Rohirrim. I believe they are going to be great with Elma to not only be able to harass the enemy economy, but also eventually take down those heroes on foot. 2 power points collected, and all that happens only with the Alvin heroes. That's what is so impressive about this performance of the Alvin player. The Lone Tower, but the heroes are saying no, 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 and the Lone Tower has been taken down. Does he have Silvertone arrows? No. And again, this, as long as you cannot kill them, they will keep scaling. They will keep getting stronger. Almost level 4, level 5 already unlocks the restoration. And guys, that's a huge power spike. Maybe you don't understand. So basically, if Haldir is level 8, use Golden Arrow, then you use Restoration, and then you can cast Golden Arrow once again. So you can keep them stunned all the time. And look at this, man. Oh, the Flood will be used. I wanted to see it against the buildings, but it's okay. Look how difficult it is for the Alvin player to be able, for the Man of the West player to fight the Alvin heroes. Level 7 and level 10, really close, 3 levels. Look, hitting like a truck, my dude. The damage from Glorfindel is still crazy. I mean, they nerfed only the armor from the Blade of Purity. The damage is still 100%. He will still be able to hit like a truck. 6 power points collected after the Cloud Break. The Man of the West army has 9 power points only. He's still 6 power points away from his own 15. So he's definitely behind in the power point department, which kind of makes sense because he has nothing to kill. He can only fight against the heroes. So collecting power points should be way easier for elves than it is actually for men. But Elrond, he's trying to get as many power points as possible. Maybe level 5 can save him with the restoration. Now he has to run for his life, but there is no backup this time. Heal is on cooldown. Can he get away? Bait, 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 bait. Nice bait. Spear throw. Elrond, don't run into them. Elrond has been now taken down. That was real close because he was level 5. He had the restoration available. He could use the restoration, reset the Atelas, and use the Atelas. That would buy him enough time to get the heal, which was almost ready. But it's fine. Elma is still alive, by the way. Elma is level 4. The farms are going down, and the Ents mood is now up on the field. Looks like the Ents are going to war as the leader of the Fangon Forest is joining the battlefield. 11 power points in the bank versus 14 power points after the Cloud Break. That means only 11 away from his 25. Holy moly, man. Holy moly. 14, 15 power points. He might even get the chance if he wants to summon the Eagles, but that would just slow him down to 25. We have a fight here. Arwen is almost level 8, by the way, and Glorfindel is almost level 8 too. That's a lot of levels. Mist is gonna be used to debuff the enemy units and to nullify their leadership bonuses they would get from Elma. And we have Tom Bombadillo summoned from the Man of the West player. Tom Bombadillo is a great anti-hero, by the way, as he's able to knock them down by trampling them. Now that might be a bad situation because Arwen is quite low and also Glorfindel is quite low. Use Blade of Purity to become more tanky, but they are fast enough to disengage that. And Tom Bombadil was kind of blown away without any great result for the Man of the West player. the Treebeard in the melee range attacking the fortress, and only Elma is attacking him. Tower guards need to get in position to kill him before he deals even more damage to the fortress. The fortress is getting lower and lower, and the power points are rising to the sky. 20 power points now in the bank for the and Maru, without saying a word, leaves the game. What? The Elven heroes, man. I'm telling you. We have the red Isengard player Mustafa on the left side against the blue Isengard player Maru on the right side. Once again, boys, that's the map Forts of Anduin. So basically, there are multiple reskins for the map Forts of Eisen. This is one of them, and you have also, I believe, like Forts of Calanduin and one more, Forts of Limelight. So I know like 3-4 reskins are definitely existing with now new texture, but the size is the same. The creeps are the same. Like literally, only the visuals change about this map. Everything else is the same. We have the same amount of creeps. The inn at the top right and at the bottom left side. And for the Isengard, it would mean that you will get the chance to recruit the Black Orcs. And I believe this is actually quite a good situation to capture the inn, because Black Orcs are really reliable units. And from the inn, they cost only 250 each. So you spend basically 150 less resources in compared to a Urukai and get almost the same value. So basically, the only difference is that the Black Orcs cannot use the shield wall formation. They are a bit less tanky. But with Bloodthirst, they would deal even more damage in compared to the Urukai. And Bloodthirst is a passive ability they get unlocked with level 2 instantly. You have a Pikeman start and a Warpack start. So Warpack against Pikeman, obviously the Pikemen are going to be able to win. But the Pikeman start kind of tells me that he's planning to creep. He might now creep the troll layer at the bottom left side or the Warg layer here around the river. Let's see, the builders are both moving on to the middle of the map. They are kind of saying hello to each other. Look at them, boys. They are done with their life. You know what I'm saying? Look at this.
Come on, Pikes, this
way. The music. I'm a big fan of Pirates of Caribbean too. You know, Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow. Sorry, Captain Jack Sparrow. He's gonna creep to the Warg layer, top left. The Warg packs are now moving forward, but the Pikes are not in position. Now, in a one-on-one situation, the Uruks are also stronger than Warg packs. So Warg packs are literally only good for harassment. So you want to just hit and run, hit and run. He might even be able to steal the creep eventually. Let's see if this is going to be the plan. That's all he can do. He can never fight the Pikeman. So he's going to dance around the Rosie. They are not going for a 50-50 situation now. Let's see who's going to get the money. And the red Isengard player Mustafa is saying, thank you for the money, dudes. And but he didn't get the last hit on the layer. That's why they get not level 2. So basically the rubble was taken down by this Warpacks, which is not bad. It's better than nothing. He was using whole ability. And what is this war chant? That's very questionable. I think that was not needed, to be honest with you guys. He needs now more pikemen, but he's building up the clan seeding now for the White Man of Dunland. And the pikes are leading forward to the troll layer. And the way you want to creep this, the easiest way is you want to lure him away from the layer. And as he's going back like that, you watch this, he won't be able to attack you, right? And this is the easiest and the fastest way and the healthiest way of creeping a troll layer. Because if you don't do that, he will just hit you all the time and you might be disabled, knocked down on the ground, and it might take you long enough maybe for the enemy units to come, or even when you are unlucky, you might lose the pikeman to the troll. The creep is going to be secured. The money, oh, he was almost able to steal the money with the builder, but it's too risky, you know, you don't want to lose your builder by the attempt of stealing the money. It's not worth it. Now the inn is going to be captured by Mustafa, and Mustafa will get the chance once again to be able to recruit the Black Orcs. The Warpacks, I believe they cannot really fight the situation because the pikes are now on the way to back up those crossbowmen. The inn captured Black Orcs, and that's the difference between the inn and the Orc Pit level 2. From the Orc Pit level 2, Mordor has to invest 300 to be able to recruit them, and Isengard from the inn only has to invest 250. I recently watched Gladiator, and the Pirates of Caribbean soundtrack sounds very similar, almost like they stole it. Really? I'm not sure about that. Mustafa found the right way to play the game, to play as Isengard, of course. Imagine if you could use mines. Very true, yeah. I mean, Isengard, I think Isengard is a very reliable faction, you know. Kinda weak early game because of the low eco. You need to kinda make it to the mid game in which you can unlock Devastation, White Man of Dunland summon, you know, to get additional money and resources, because Isengard Uruks, and I believe that's the main weakness of the early game of Isengard, they are very expensive. But you have obviously a secondary option, and that's the clan setting. To get units on the field, they cost like only a third. of what the Uruks would cost. Uruks are just too expensive. Early game. Later on they are good because Isengard can afford to build like 4 Uruk pits, you know. When you have Field of Fires, you get rich. The Warg Sentry. Warg Sentry. This is something we see more and more often. That's a great defensive tool, by the way, that would keep this inn protected for a long time. We have Black Orcs on the field. Unlike the normal Orcs, they are also able to get... I mean, they can also get upgrades, right? I think that's also new added. Earlier, I believe they couldn't get any upgrades, normal Orcs, but now they can. The Warg Riders. Oh, that's good. That's gonna force Mustafa now to recruit even more pikemen, but he's preparing now for a big push. Does he have War Chant? Yes, sir. He's gonna have War Chant when he's going for attack. And Kribin is gonna be on cooldown for the next 1 minute. So now, Isengard player Mustafa has definitely a big advantage. This attack might actually be quite effective. He's pressuring also from the other side, but here the pikes are being targeted and the Black Orcs are gonna get trampled down by the Warg Riders. This Warg Rider is actually dealing a lot of economical damage to Mustafa. He has to definitely recruit more pikemen to be able to deal with them. But now he's gonna oh, he has even torches on the Wildman of the Unend. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Like, the damage boost is crazy. And remember, they have the pillage, right? It means every single time they deal damage to your economy, they will even deal greater damage because they will be able to steal your money. And with torches, they are simply hitting like a truck. And the Uruk pit is gonna be taken down in like 3 seconds. The furnace also. Just ignore and focus down the buildings. You don't need to fight this, in my opinion. The Warg Riders are looking to get into the backline, but the pikes from Mustafa are paying attention. Great micro. The furnace has been taken down. The torches are hitting hard. But the problem is the Wildman of Dunlin, they are very vulnerable against trample damage. Look how much damage they took even though they were buffed. Kribin is still on cooldown, by the way. With Kribin, it would be much easier to defend this. Warg Riders are doing a great job, but I believe Mustafa is still able to win this fight. And that's the advantage of a buff. In Rise of the Witch King, the buffs, Rallying Call and War Chant are so incredibly effective that if you know the fact that you have a buff advantage, it's just huge. You gotta make a move and play around the cooldowns, you know. When you know enemy has no buff, use your own buff and go for the attack. The Vestation has been used. That one was from Mustafa, by the way. You get a lot of money from it. Maybe Sharku could be a nice hero, by the way, because Sharku is a great counter hero to cavalry. So basically, you can use Sharku to, you know, chase down the Warg Riders all the time, and also for harassment. There is a level 2 furnace. Warg Riders are just trying to buy time, but Mustafa has definitely the advantage. More of them are joining the battlefield, but pikes are hurting. You know, you don't want to trample them, and he's actually positioning and clumping himself in a really great way. And they're gonna focus down the Uruk pit. Once again, the Wildman of the Unend are hitting very hard, and he needs to demolish the building. Why? Because if you don't demolish them, you will lose money from the pillage. And Maru, once again, without saying a single word, leaves the game, and that's a 2-0 victory for now. And Dwarves kind of struggling in this matchup a little bit. And the only way you can really win this as Dwarves, I believe, is when you win the game in like the first 15 minutes. Every minute after that one is going to be kind of painful, because Mordor is one of the best killing factions into the late game. And there is I mean, now you can argue and say what faction scales better. Is it Mordor or Angmar, for example, right? But I believe Mordor is killing even better than Angmar, because Angmar has weak eco in compared to Mordor. Mordor has industry too. Angmar doesn't. I will be used to scout. We have, I mean, that's a big map, right? On this map, you have a lot of possibilities with dwarves, but also lots of possibilities with Mordor. So the distance from the fortress here to this fortress is huge, right? And for that reason, dwarves can only play the game on this map if they get the chance to build multiple mineshafts offensively. That's why it's important for Mustafa to capture those signal fires on the map. They will grant you a great amount of vision control, but they won't make you to see the full middle. That's not possible. So you will be able to see until this spot. And Dwarven player can still walk around the corner, right? So you can hack the wall here and move all the way around to build a sneaky mineshaft even behind the enemy castle. That's also possible. The Eye is scouting everything. He will be able to see all the 3 mineshafts in Hall of Warriors. We have a pikeman start. I'm assuming he wanna creep this Warclay first. Mordor on the other side. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here we go. I mean, that's something I've not seen for a long time. It will be a Troll Cage delete, I believe. I mean, remember, like in the version 8.3, that's something we have seen many times. Mordor was the one faction who was kind of, every second game you would build a Troll Cage, get a mountain troll on the field and demolish the Troll Cage right after. That's also something we have seen a lot from the Men of the West faction, for example. Build a stable, recruit one Gondor Knight, and demolish the stable right after. But we have not seen this in the 8.5 yet. That's the first time we see that from Mordor. He will be demolishing the troll cage, I believe. That would mean that it's gonna be important for Mustafa to keep the troll alive as long as he potentially can. Nah, he's not gonna demolish it. Okay, he might get another one maybe. Double orc pit. The dwarven units are creeping. He was creeping that offensively in the middle on the right side and not this one. That is the first offensive mineshaft, and the builder is moving to the bottom right side. Now the troll is creeping. Okay, the amount of experience you will get from the creep with the mountain troll is quite bad, because I believe they nerfed the experience gain. Because the monsters, they are able to recover only when they are level 2. But the amount of stuff this troll has to kill to get to level 2 is nerfed. So you gotta kill now much more stuff. Pikemen and Guardian are moving forward, and I believe Mordor is not gonna be in position to defend such a force. The mineshaft at the bottom right side is coming up on the field. The troll cannot really fight and face against the pikemen. But what you can always do is pick up a tree, which doesn't only add splash damage to your troll, but also he will get like a longer range. So basically with the fist, with the normal auto attack, he needs to go really close to the enemy units, right? With the tree, he has like a larger auto attack range. That means you can eventually hit them before they get the chance to hit you back. I would always recommend to pick up a tree, but when you have a tree, you cannot heal, right? Eat a orc, and that's what you can always do. Keep eating, but it's also nerfed. I mean, that was not like this before, by the way. This had no cooldown. You could eat permanently. You could fight, eat every 2 seconds, which would make him so tanky. They nerfed the, they increased the duration of the cooldown, and they also nerfed the amount of healing. Earlier, when you would eat one single orc, he would heal up from 0 HP to full HP. Now you get like 30% healing. But dwarves are, you know, kind of exploring the map a lot. There is a mineshaft at the bottom left side. And the builder here, now there are guardians here. They are coming now to commit against the slaughterhouse. They have only one troll on the field still. This troll was eating yet another orc. But the thing is, you see, that's what I'm talking about. The one guardian and one pikeman, look how long they are able to stall, you know? They're able to sit here and fight against like 10 orcs at the same time. The dwarven units, when they get the chance to commit on a fight, they are very, very strong. But the troll is gonna punch those guardians on the ground. Not even close to be level 2 yet. And troll is being creeped now top right side. Dwarves are actually kind of expanding very effectively. Hey Smokey, welcome to the stream. Okay, I mean, he's defending, but look how long it takes him to defend against one pikeman and one guardian. Imagine if the attack would include more than that. He has level 2 charge attack. He's trying to take down the slaughterhouse. He will be able to take it because trolls, and that's their main weakness, they are dumb. Like, they don't take the commands. They have like their own will. They do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to micro. Like, there are two, I mean, that's also the main difference between Warp Rider and Gondor Knight, for example, you know? When it comes to micro with the Warp Rider, it feels like they are much harder to be microed around in compared to Gondor Knights. I don't know why this is a thing, if this is intended or not, but it's definitely the case. Lofts, and thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Welcome, hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Oh, he's creeping actually a lot during all this time, you know? While he's putting pressure on Mordor. Mordor is kind of in a sandwich situation. He's kind of surrounded. He cannot leave this area at all. He has to play quite defensively. Now Mordor has a couple of options. With 5 power points, you might get you know, the War Chant or not Industry, the War Chant or the Tainted Land, but also you can eventually save up for 10 power points and get to Industry as soon as possible. And I believe Black Orcs are a great choice. Black Orcs should be able to fight against the enemy Guardians too. There is a mineshaft coming up. We have battle wagons on the field with banner, and there is no debuff for Mordor until you get Mouth of Sauron or eventually the Witch King later on. And there is one faction, by the way, did you guys know that every single faction but Men of the West has debuff in the game? Men of the West is the only faction without debuff. Now, call me crazy, but I think what needs to be done in long terms, that's my opinion, is to replace one of the leaderships from the Men of the West heroes with a debuff. Because think about it. Leadership isn't able to stack in Rise of the Witch King, am I right? So you can have only one leadership. But there are so many heroes from Men of the West that give you leadership, which is kind of pointless because Theoden gives you leadership, Boromir, Faramir, Aragorn, all these heroes giving you leadership. But yet again, you can have only one of them active at the same time. So maybe it would be a great idea to kind of remove the leadership from one hero and give him some sort of debuff, you know? And there were never not enough man buffs for Shanks. No, I'm not saying do it or something. I'm just saying, you know, that Man of the West is the only faction that has no debuff, which is the true, right? Yeah, but true. Maybe I'm biased in this kind of situation because I'm a man fan, you know. I like man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like man with this letter, you know, not like this letter, you know. I'm saying I don't like man this way. I like the man faction, not man particularly. We have an army coming from the bottom left side. From Mordor, but they might not be in position. We have Battle Wagon with Well and with Banner. The Trebuchet or Catapult expansion is gonna do a good job, but the Orc Pit level 2 is gonna be definitely taken down. I mean, that's very effective, by the way. The Catapult expansion, not only about the damage it's able to deal, but also the knockdown. You are able to knock down the enemy units on the ground and disable them for multiple seconds. The thing is, this double buffed Dwarven army is just too strong for Mordor. He was even using Warchan on them to make them stronger, but there comes the Hobbit Allies Special 7. The Battle Wagons, just be careful, but there are not even Easterlings in the front line. That means the Orcs and also Black Orcs are getting trampled down. And that's gonna be GG. And Smokey was right, it's gonna be a 2v1 situation after this game. Maybe it's time for a great comeback from Maru after being 2-0 behind. Who knows? Don't be shy, Shanks. Dude, I'm married. I have a second child. It's a little bit too late for that one. The Dwarven army is gonna snowball now, but there is a small counter that the troll is gonna be taken down, the Men of Steel. So basically, dwarves, they have now kinda evolved, right? So basically, dwarves are gonna be unstoppable from this point. Unless Mordor kinda magically defends this without losing a lot, which I doubt is gonna be the case. And hobbits can also kind of crush Gothmog, the Scarface. Looks like Freddy Krueger to me. Look, that's what I'm talking about. Did you guys know that hobbits are dealing increased damage to heroes? With the rocks, they can actually bully the heroes in no time. Look, this Frodo Baggins against Troll, like in the films. Hey, Troll is like, get out of my way, child. He's like, I have better stuff to do. Leave me alone, Frodo Baggins. Samwise Gamgee. And Lofson, after the follow for the first time subbing to the channel. Lofson, thank you so much for the huge support, my dude.
Lofson just subscribed. Welcome to Beyond Standards.
Thanks for the huge support to the channel. And once again, thanks for the follow. And also, thanks for the sub. Means a lot. I and Warchan 7 power points collected, but he's down to 400 command points. Only dwarves have 650. Now, I believe Maru, you know, has the chance to expand a bit more, but he is not expanding as much as he should. But he has still an army here, right? Men of Steel. When they get level 2, they have the Black Arrows, which can deal increased damage to trolls and extend their auto attack range. So basically, what you want to do is you want to keep shooting, and the second the target is getting out of your range, you can still cast the Black Arrows and shoot from a farther distance. And go for this little bit amount of a burst, you know? Gothmog is recovering over time. He's still only level 1, but he has leadership for the Black Orcs. Remember, Mordor has the chance to go for the industry, but he needs still over 2 power points for that. And the question is, even if he goes for the industry, is he able to keep the slaughterhouse protected long enough to get the value? And remember, I keep saying it because it's important, you know, nerf to factions like Isengard and Mordor, because they were the ones who are benefiting from the industry power point. Industry got nerfed this patch, so it gives you now less value, less money, less boost. And he's kind of trying to find all these sneaky mineshafts, but there is still one at the bottom left corner. And it's very important for Mordor to keep this captured. Get the money. Look at the money from dwarves though. He has 800 command points now. He will get the chance very soon to even recruit either King Dean or even Gimli. King Dean obviously could be a nice hero, because King Dean, I believe, is the best sportive hero in the entire game when it comes to make your army stronger and also make the enemy army weaker. With the Mighty Rage, you can do this both. King Dean offers you leadership and also a buff. So basically like a spell from darkness to make your army even stronger. Rallying Call has been used here to fight this army of Mordor. Like, Oryx are strong, but are they strong enough? Men of Steel are doing a great job. He's now going for the Arrow Volley. Arrow Volley, can he get inside? Boom! Arrow Volley on your face, son. Nice Arrow Volley in the building. Nice. Body blocking them so they cannot go inside the genes. And he was losing his Rallying Call for that one. I mean, the Arrow Volley, I'm not a big fan of that, but it was looking cool because Arrow Volley is like an offensive power point. I believe Mordor needed a bit more defensive power point, like a scaling power point, like Industry, for example, right? You need money. You need to find a way to get back into the game because you keep losing all the time. But I guess he would not be in a position in which he can kind of defend the slaughterhouse anyway. So maybe Arrow Volley was not a bad call. But the way Arrow Volley works in Rise of the Witch King is so tricky because it has like an animation time, right? So your opponent is able to see one arrow dropping down and he has like 5 seconds time to leave the area. So basically you can select all your units and press X on your keyboard to split them. And the Arrow Volley is not going to be able to hit unless you are able to stun them with like, for example, Cloudbreak. And Fear effects doesn't work either because Fear is different than Stun. Fear is gonna make them run into different directions, which you can't control, right? But Stun, you can stop them. You can stop them from moving anywhere. The dwarves are kinda not able to finish off the game. That's their main weakness, I believe. And Maru needs to find a way of finding the one commitment to end this game before Mordor gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay, so Black Oryx, they are trying to stall, they are trying to buy some time. We have also battle wagons now, Men of Steel. He might even go for a fire roll later on. He had so much money, I'm expecting a big hero. No, he has still out of money. Look his power points though. He has 17 power points in the bank. Gothmog is level 2. The battle wagon is running into the Easterlings for no reason. The battle wagon has been taken down. It hurts, by the way. Regardless about how much money you have, losing a battle wagon like that is painful. And now there are 2 mineshafts behind the Mordor base. And does Mordor not see them? Yeah, he sees them. He sees this one for sure. He has to act and do something about it. Like, he has nothing to defend. Imagine an army spawning from this mineshaft and taking down literally everything. Dwarves have also the chance to go for the Siege Hammers with level 2 Hall of Warriors. We have seen this already today. It's very effective when you get the chance to commit against a fortress. With the Siege Hammers, you can take it down in literally 2 seconds. And this catapult is out of range, so you can shoot this. You have a Hobbit summon now offensively. But the Mindshot is going to be taken down anyway. But here's another one here with Pikemen and Men of Steel. Gothmog is using the tomato and getting away. Level 3 only. And Arrow Volley is on cooldown. But Warchan and I are going to be available for the next fight. And that's the good thing about Mordor, right? Because with the 5 power points from your spellbook, you have access to leadership and also buff at the same time. The only thing you are missing is debuff. And for that reason, you would need something like Mouth of Sauron. Look at the money from dwarves. He has the Dwarven Riches on the level 3 mineshaft, which is giving you so much money, and Mustafa is not gonna say a word. They are not calling it GG, boys. The builder coming in the last seconds after the game is already over, and the score is gonna be the 2-1 for still in favor of Mustafa. We have the red Engnar player Mustafa at the bottom right side against the blue Elven player Maru at the top left side. I believe that's gonna be a tough one for elves, but we shall see. We shall see. We have a Barracks into Malone 3 coming up at the beginning of the game. That's a very offensive build style, so he want to punish the Engnar player early on with an eventual Lorien warrior rush, because Lorien warriors are stronger than Gundabad warriors, but Engnar has so many options, and I believe that's the main strength of Engnar, right? The early transition and the one unit for all solutions. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the one magical weapon from Engnar that can solve all your problems early on. The Thrallmaster unit gives you the chance to turn them into the X-Drovers, Gundabad warriors, Wolf Riders, and Spearmen. 1 into 4 different units. You have an economical opening, 3 mills into the Hall of the Kingsman. I mean, I believe Engnar can also, I mean, we have seen this a couple of times. It's definitely possible to start with the Troll and Wolf Den, but it's just like a bit more risky, because in order to be able to make a use of the Wolf Den early on, you need to get it to level 2 to be able to recruit the Snow Trolls. And they are so expensive too, right? It's a time investment. And this is just much more reliable. Hall of the Kingsman. Alvin Barracks into the pikeman. It looks like you want to go for a creep, I'm assuming. Yeah, he's going for the creep. That's the waypoint. You can see that. You want to creep this Warclay first. And I believe he's going to combine them later on with the Lorien Warriors and push for the first attack. That's something we see also from Men of the West many times. So start with pikemen or dwarves even. Start with pikemen, creep a troll layer or a warg layer, then combine them with swordmen.
Shanks like men. Shanks like man. Shanks like men. Shanks like man. Man, he he.
Man. Yeah, true. I like man. Man of the West faction. He's creeping that, no problemo. Malone 3 at the bottom left side. I like the positioning. It's gonna be hidden for a long time. It's gonna be hard to be found. Gundabad orcs are leading forward. Now, the thing is that they cannot fight against Lorien warriors in a one-on-one situation, you know? So you need to kind of look for a 1v2 situation in which you have 2 units against 1. But the power of Angmar, right? The power that you can go for a very early transition into the stable and barracks. With 2 buildings, you can legit recruit everything you need in the entire game. While other factions need most of the time 3, even 4 buildings. So these are the best.
Smoke KKKK, my man, welcome to the stream. I love man.
Dude, stop it, guys. Come on now. I don't love man. I love man, but in a brothership. You know what I'm saying? Handshake. You know, fist fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like about man. Mrs. Smoke, my man. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. Hey, Videra is also in the chat. Videra, welcome. Andy Brandy, welcome. The Wolf 10 is going to be... Oh, was really close. He almost saved it too. But it's okay. You know, it's not the end of the war, let's be honest. Like, he lost the Wolf 10, yeah, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. He was able to save his mills. That's not bad. Now he can go for a counterattack with Gundabad Warriors, Wolf Packs. He has 2 battalions, and they are really good when you combine them with the heavy spike colors. That's gonna make them quite tanky, even though they got nerfed this patch. So in the 8.4 version, they were busted. Like, legit busted. Okay, the statue coming up behind for Maru. Going for like a campy playstyle. The thing is, I believe, that's my personal opinion, that nobody can match the Alvin infantry in strength. You know, that you can, I mean, the Mirkwoods, they got nerfed, true, yes, but they are still the best archers in the game. In very late game, if you have leadership from Haldir and you have Mirkwoods with Silverton arrows, nothing can match you. But Angmar has one tool which can still kind of mess you up, and that's the Fairwind. Fairwind is the secret weapon from the Angmar faction, right? So there is no counterplay. Basically, you can Fairwind, and not only Longshot. No, Longshot is only one of the endless wombo combo potentials you get. Like, obviously, we all know the Longshot Fairwind combination, but you can also go for a Fairwind in Rogash, for example. Did you guys know that Rogash has splash damage, and if you Fairwind them all together, they will be clumped, and one out attack from Rogash might actually kill like full army, legit. You can also combine it with Rogash leap attack, for example, right? You can combine it with Fairwind and Blight, so to keep them in the Blight as long as you potentially can. So you have so many wombo combo potentials, that's kind of insane with a 5 power point from your spellbook, and it's so epic to see that. Angmar is kind of pushing now, and Alvin faction player Maru is kind of in a defensive situation. That's the clash of the 2 worst eco factions in the game. Elves have the worst eco. I mean, Angmar has still Waldor, you know, you can get the pillage unlocked to get additional money, but Elves have nothing. So Elves will get outskilled money-wise from every other faction. Spearman going for the creep, and Elves kind of making now a move, and I believe Angmar wasn't able to see that. Now he has not much to defend himself, only 1 Lorien warrior. I don't know about that. Builders, both of them are moving forward. I believe they want to build eventually like a statue here or a well for the sustain. If Wolf Riders, 2 Trollmaster here, and he might turn them into the extrovers eventually, but that's a lot of army. But mainly archers and 2 Lorien warriors and 1 pikeman only. The builder has been sniped, by the way, that's painful. Ingmar now going for a counter attack. He will be able to destroy the Malone 3 almost level 2. Creeps is going to be secured by Mustafa. The mill is going to be definitely taken down, and once again there is offensive statue coming up. Beautiful trample. The pikes were not in position, but they are buffed, and Wolf Riders are potentially the worst cavalry unit in the game. There comes a Felwind, but there is no follow-up. He's gonna try to kill the statue, which is smart, to deny the Elven player the double buff he's looking for. But extroverts damage against buildings is not the greatest. The attack is gonna be successfully defended by Maru, and now we gotta focus on this attack, because now the positioning of the Elven army, they are buffed from the rallying call, they have leadership behind, and this builder might even build a well here. He's building a Malone tree offensively. That's a horrible situation, right in front of your Hall of the Kingsman. Maybe build a Trollstone Thrower expansion, you know, for 600. That's gonna be able to aim this statue down. But I don't know, man, this army looks scary to me. What can you do against that? He lost all the production buildings, by the way. He has no more unit production. Holy moly. Maybe that's the way you want to play that. Maybe that's the way you want to play that. Very good executed here. Very good executed. Elves win rate still good. The Elves have actually an incredible win rate. I don't know why people are like kind of complaining about the Elven faction. I mean, Valinorian complains all the time about Elves. He's like, Elves are so weak, Elves are that, Elves are this. But I believe Elven faction has the best win rate from all of factions right now. Yeah, as observer you can zoom out. Pikeman. And yeah, I mean, what can you do now at this point? Like, yeah, he was with the Elven faction, he was getting heroes, but Angmar doesn't have the option. Because your Waldor is gonna be more like a sportive hero. He cannot really fight this for a long time. He will be kind of bullied away. And unlike the Elven heroes, the Angmar heroes have no sustain. So you have no recovery, right? That's gonna be bad. 3 power points. I mean, he's trying to build the Hall of the Kingsman, but he's gonna lose literally every single mill. Yeah, he has a lot of command points, but it's gonna be changed very, very soon. Because every single one of them is gonna be discovered very, very soon. And with no unit production means literally that you cannot play the game, you know? He's building a lot of mills around the top right side. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mills in total. He gets 250 command points from this region. But the command points all alone is not gonna make you win the game. Maybe Karch, but even Karch is a very situational hero. By the way, in the 8.5, Karch has now also fear resistant, because Angmar was the one faction without fear resistant and without fear. So you cannot fear the enemy units and you have no fear resistant yourself. Every other faction has basically either fear or fear resistant. But now Karch has fear resistant. However, Karch is a very squishy hero. So only good against goblin spammy factions, but Morgomir is a better hero, yeah, definitely in a situation like that. He's going for the hero party once again. The only hero that can eventually change the game is actually Witch King. So when you get Witch King on the field, you might make something happen, but Witch King is so extremely expensive that you can eventually never be able to recruit him at this point. Maru should kinda hurry up. His major mistake in the previous games was actually that he was not, you know, kind of finishing the game as fast as he should. Now what he needs to do is build the end mood right here. Build the end mood and go ham. Because you just don't invest your time wisely. Men of the West and Elves. I think Men of the West will smash Elves now. You missed the first game, Talos, in which we have seen Elves against Men of the West, and Elves were able to win with heroes only. So Men of the West had good map control, had Gondor Knights, Rohirrim, Elma, but Elven player Mustafa was going for the Elven heroes like Haldir, Glorfindel, Arwen, and Elrond. And the Elven heroes were messing the Men of the West army a lot in the first game. Oh man. He's suffering now. It's a suffer game for Mustafa, definitely. Yeah, but he's squishy against archers. Like, every time I see Karch, which is happening very, very rarely, I feel like he's going down so fast. I don't know, maybe he has a low armor set, because the HP all alone doesn't matter too much. It's about the armor set of a hero or of a unit against certain damages, you know? And I believe Karch is just taking too much damage from every source. Now you can have 10,000 HP, but what happens if you take like 500% increased damage from a certain unit? Then you still die. But Witch King, for example, is very tanky, right? But when he's on horse and he tramples down a couple of pikemen, he will die in like 2 seconds. 6 power points collected. Morgomi has debuff, but the debuff isn't able to nullify enemy leadership bonuses, which is not even existing right now. 2 heroes, but these heroes are definitely not as effective as the Elven heroes Mustafa had in the game number 1, because they have no sustain. And once again, Angmar or any evil faction really have no heal. They have no well to heal up those heroes. So every damage you take needs so much time to be healed up again. Glorfindel is on the field. Glorfindel is going to be able to 1v2 them, by the way, once he's level 3 with the Blade of Purity. But remember, in this version of the game, Glorfindel cannot use the Blade of Purity when he's mounted. Arwen is also on the field for Maru. 2 Elven heroes and a huge army against 1 Black Numenorian, 1 Extrover and 2 Angmar heroes. I believe the question about who's going to win that is obvious. Drago has 6,000 HP and sucks anyway. I mean, against archers, yeah, definitely. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, every unit or hero has like a armor set, and they take lots of damage from a certain unit. For example, Fire Drakes, right? Fire Drakes from goblins, units which are kind of forgotten. We don't very see often, very rarely. I think it's like a Christmas time when we get the chance to see them. Because when you get the chance to see them, they die very fast against 1 Lorien archer. They would die quite fast. Walder is level 5, has now the Summon Healman. Rallying Call has been used on his army. Felvin is coming in clutch from Angmar player, and he's gonna now summon the reinforcements. 8 power points collected. Heal is gonna be used. Arwen is still on the horse. She's full health because heal was used to heal her up. Where is Glorfindel at? I'm actually curious. I don't see Glorfindel on the field anymore. Morgomi and Karch are actually Morgomi and Walder are actually doing a great job. And with level 5, the Morgul Blade is gonna be good. Angmar heroes are kind of countering the every hero in the game with Morgul Blade. Also, Witch King, for example, can cripple them down, make them deal or take damage over time. And with little units, he was able to defend his attack. Black Numenorians in the front line dealing a lot of damage. Heroes cannot be bursted down fast enough. And look at the Black Numenorians murdering those Lorien archers. In the meantime, Orc Summon will be used behind the beasts for the defense. The mill, level 1, is going to be taken down regardless, I believe, to the pikeman. Can be close, maybe can he actually save it? Yeah, he was able to save it, but Lorien warriors were able to come against it and take it down. Angmar is kind of chasing down, I don't know about that. I believe the Elven units are fast enough to disengage that, and there is no reason of chasing and following them up all the way until their base. And Angmar is defending quite nicely, but he has still low command points. However, Voldor's passive, right, from this pillage means every single time he kills units or extrovers or hillmen, he will get money. I mean, the pillage is kind of not as effective as the other pillages when it's only working on these certain units. But Angmar is holding himself and heroes are skilling. I believe Glorfindel died. I missed it, but I only see Arwen on the field. 6 power points collected after the Orc, Felvin and Warchan. 450 command points against 935. Holy moly, the power point differential is huge. But the command point differential. But the Elven player has not enough units on the field. Look at that, 170 out of 910. And we have now Legolas. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prince of the Mirkwood Elves. Hero we don't get the chance to see very often is finally finding his way into the competitive gameplay in the Champions League. But the Angmar heroes are now beefy, and if this guy gets level 5, the Morgul Blade, he will hurt. Hawk Strike on the Trollmaster, one-shotting the full battalion. But Legolas is not a melee fighter. Legolas in the HD edition shooting, look at him boys, look at him like a badass. And Voldor has to run for his life. Now Legolas is a great hero against units, but Thranduil is a greater hero against heroes. So maybe Thranduil would be a better choice. We have now Glorfindel back on the menu, almost level 3. Morgomi is running for his life, but Glorfindel might get the chance to chase him down and eventually take him out. Angmar in the meantime is recovering, but losing those heroes would be quite painful. We have a level 3 Hall of the Kingsmen now for the Dark Rangers, which are gonna be the elite archers. There is money on the ground, pick it up, level 5 extrovers. Remember, in Rise of the Witch King, normal units are only able to level up all the way to level 5 and not to level 10. This is a privilege only for the heroes and the mini heroes like Black Riders or Knights of the Lamrov or Fire Drakes, for example. Arwen is level 2, has Atelas, so she can heal up Legolas and also Glorfindel. Legolas is gonna get more and more experience for killing those units, but again, Legolas is kind of squishy, right? So you want to keep your distance all the time, and you... Oh, the builder is tanky, but is he tanky enough? Yeah, but Zoom-Out. Hawk Strike. Look at the range from Legolas. Crazy range. I like that. Okay, 19 power points collected.
We bring spears from Midland.
We bring spears from Miffland. We have also Haldir on the field. I believe that's like a payback now from the previous game, game number 1, in which Mustafa was the Elven player. He was spamming all the Elven heroes. We are only missing Elrond, but for that we have like Legolas on the field. I believe, you know, Elrond in a situation like that would be a definitely better choice. The build has been sniped, and that's bad. That's bad. I mean, it's very hard for Engma now to kind of recover. Look at the minimap, guys. Look at the map control around this area. Like elves have like full map control around this area, right? Engma is kind of building multiple mills next to each other just to keep the command points as high as possible. Hawk Strike coming in clutch, and Legolas gets the chance to target those dark ranges every single time and kill them. The power points are rising to the sky. He has also the banner purchase for the Longo. I wanted to say Wombo combo potential with the Felwind. 21 power point, but he needs to invest into 10, which might be, for example, the Mist if you want to go for the Eagles, or the Alvin Wood if you want to go for the Ents. I believe Ents in a situation like that would be a better choice because of the siege damage against the fortress. So Alvin Wood can also not be covered by Engma. So you go for the Alvin Wood, you have 50% more damage and armor, and you also get the fear resistant, which doesn't really mean a lot in this matchup, but it's still good, you know. And also Alvin Wood from Alvin faction has way lower cooldown than Tainted Land from factions like Mordor, Goblins, and I mean, that's like pretty much it. Mordor and Goblins, because Isengard Tainted Land has also the same cooldown like the Alvin Woods. Long shot, Felwind on the Ranger, on the Mirkwoods, boom! And Mirkwoods, just like that, gone into the graveyard. And that's the power. They cost so much, nearly 800, but against the power of Felwind, there can be no victory. Morgomi is now level 5, has the Morgul Bleed, and that means heroes from the Elven player Maru, they gotta watch out. Because Morgul Bleed, if you know, pretty much stun them, make them take damage over time, then if they die, they will become a white which you can control then and make them fight against their own army, pretty much. But however, Legolas is quite fast, right? He's mobile as hell. That means there is no way, as long as he's keep running away, that you can catch him. But also Felwind can be used in those situations, because Felwind doesn't only work on units, it also works on heroes. So if you see a hero, you Felwind him, you disable him, then you get into the melee range with your pikemen and your heroes, and you can burst down every single Elven hero in like 2 seconds. Blade of Purity on Glorfindel. He's shining bright like a diamond. He's angry and hunting those dark rangers. Now, Blade of Purity is more like a damage boost other than an armor boost. I mean, it still gives you 50% armor, but it used to give you 100% armor instead. So now he's still hitting like a truck, but he's a bit more squishy during all this time, like than he was a couple of versions ago. 8 power points almost collected. So Glorfindel is a hero who kind of got nerfed many times. I remember the time, I think it was in the version 7 or 8.0, he was being recruited every single game because he was so reliable. Orc Summon will be used, and when you kill summoned units in Rise of the Witch King, you get nothing. You don't get any power points, you don't get any experience points.
I speak with the witches of Angmar.
Okay, but the Engma is kind of getting back into the game though. 10 power points collected, 15 will give him the chance to get the Mountain Giants summon, which you can actually use for a sneaky attack and eventually end up taking the enemy fortress. Who knows? Can you implement Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith in BFME 1 on skirmish? I don't know if we can do that. Oh! 167 in the bank for killing Glorfindel from the Pillage of Voldor. 14 power points collected, but we have 14 power points collected as well for the Elven player. Now, with 15, he will get the chance to summon the Eagles. Arwen is also here. You get 14 for each kill on this Mirkwood. Obviously, the Pillage works similar to the cost, right? Basically, when you kill heroes or highly costing units, you will get more money than when you kill orcs, right? So 14 for each of them is pretty nice, and they are so getting one-shotted by Waldo pretty much in the melee range. The White Summon. Oh, look at this. Legolas is the knife fighter. Morgul Bleed is on cooldown. Oh, he might die because Legolas is going to be able to switch now to bow very soon. Legolas is actually running in light speed, but now he will be able to shoot. Hawk Strike is available. Use it. Aggressive stance, by the way, is very important. And pew! Legolas from downtown, and level 4 is gonna be unlocked as Morgomir is going into the graveyard. 17 power points collected for elves. He has now the chance to summon the mighty giant eagles from the spellbook of the elven faction. During all this time, we have Haldir on the field, level 3. Arwen is still alive. She's level 2, has Atelas on cooldown. And the only hero the elven player lost, not only once but twice, was actually Glorfindel. But Legolas now scaling, obviously, right? Level 7 is gonna unlock the Arrow Wind. In Eagles, we can also use Eagles to combat against enemy fortress. But again, Angmar has the Snowbind, which can be used to make the building untargetable. So basically, you can protect it for a long time. And here's Rangers and the level 3 Hall of the Kingsmen. Both of them are gonna be able to shoot. And the Eagles might be taken down quite fast. The White Summon was kind of questionable. And I believe the only reason why you would ever go for the White Summon in this stage is if you want to go for the Blight. Because you cannot go for the Blight from the Orc Summon. You need to go either for the Frozen Land or for the White Summon. So White Summon into the Blight might not be a bad choice and a call. He has even a giant eagle from the fortress, by the way. So with the eagles from the special summon, he would have up to 3 eagles on the field at the same time. The builder has been once again taken down. The Mirkwoods are hitting like an absolute truck. The power points are rising to the sky. Now, I believe Maru is gonna look for a chance to commit against enemy fortress. Lots of rangers, but what can they do? Without Felwind Longshot, you cannot fight against the Mirkwoods. That's not possible. He's gonna use Felwind on what? On Legolas. He missed him, I believe. Yeah, he missed him. That's bad. Like, if there are so many Mirkwoods and you use it on Legolas and you miss it. And that's gonna be a GG move. And what a great comeback from Maru. From 0 to hero. 2-0 was the score for Mustafa. And now the score, ladies and gentlemen, is dead even. Goblins against Mordor. Oof. I think that's gonna be a tough one for Mustafa, guys, in the final game. Yes, they actually changed a little bit about this matchup. It used to be a very tough matchup for the Goblin faction in the previous version, the 8.4. But again, that's kind of a small map. And small map and against Mordor, that's literally the nightmare of the Goblin faction. I mean, it's still quite difficult when we see the win rate of the Goblins against Mordor faction. That's the matchup Goblins struggle the most against, still even in the 8.5 version. Because if the game goes into late game, mid to late game, I think having to deal with eventually 3 flying heroes at the same time is gonna be like a nightmare. Because Goblin faction, if you don't know, has no secondary option. Like every other faction, for example, Man of the West has Gondor Archers and Ithilien Rangers. Elves have Lorien Archers and Mirkwoods, you know. Obviously, Angmar has Extrovers and Dark Rangers. You have Extrovers from Dwarves and Men of Steel. Every faction, even Mordor has like Haradrim Archers, has like a better option for secondary or primary archers, right? And Goblins have only Goblin Archers. That's all they got. They can only shoot, they can only deal damage. Yes, they buff the poison arrow damage from the Goblin Archers against trolls and also against flyers, but if you ever have to deal with 3 flyers at the same time, it's gonna be still awful. We have 2 3-tunnels, Goblin Keef into the second Goblin Keef coming up for the Goblin player Mustafa. On the other side, the Mordor player Maru building up an army of Mordor, Warfare of Mordor with double Orc Pit. And I believe the only efficient way of dealing with a flyer is your own flyer. So basically, Drogoth, the Dragon Lord, is actually hardcore countering with the Fireflight. If you use Fireflight from Drogoth against a Felbeast from Mordor, you almost one-shot him. So Fireflight deals crazy amount of burst damage to flying heroes. But again, Mordor has an easier time to get a Felbeast on the field in compared to the Goblin faction with Drogoth. Drogoth is way more expensive than a Felbeast is, you know? And also Goblins are more expensive. So we shall see. We have triple Goblin Keef now for Mustafa. It's gonna be a Goblin spam against Orc spam early on. And because we have now, never mind, we have a Troll Cage coming up. So Troll Cage, and also that's one thing I believe the Mordor is one step ahead. Because Mordor gets the chance to recruit the Mountain Trolls from a level 1 building. While Goblins, they gotta get the Fissure to level 2 first to be able to recruit their own Mountain Trolls. However, I believe in many situations, the Mountain Trolls are a bit better. The reason is simple, because they have the sustain advantage, right? They, even when they are level 1, they can heal up themselves by eating an orc. Goblin trolls can't do the same. So Goblin is already in more like a defensive situation. That's a situation you don't want to find yourself in. And sooner or later, he will be forced to recruit multiple Goblin archers, from 4 Goblin caves now in total.
You have no power here.
Did you see the Lord of the Rings TV series leak photos? No, I haven't. Is there something on YouTube? We can take a look into that together later, guys, if you want to. I haven't seen that. I was only able to see the teaser with the Rings of Power. What is this, man? 5 Goblin caves in total? Let's go. I like that. Goblin spam. Wargen has been used on these goblins. That's why they are glowing. And the reason why he was using that off screen, by the way, is because if you use it off screen, your opponent won't be able to tell if they are buffed or not. He doesn't see them glowing like we can see them glowing now. Perfect timing for the troll. Perfect timing. Boom. One shot. Boom.
Against the power of Mordor, there can be no victory.
Against the power of Mordor, there can be no victory. I think Mordor is the one faction, for me, for my personal preference, and from what I have seen in the past, Mordor is the one faction which actually has not a really bad matchup, in my opinion. Like, yes, you might struggle against many factions early on, but once you survive the early pressure, like the first 10 minutes into the game, right? I think you can win and beat every other faction. And for me, like, you guys remember the game between Smoky and Sauron a couple of days ago? In which Smoky was playing Mordor and Sauron was playing Elves, and Smoky ended up losing this game. For me, the main reason why Smoky lost against Sauron's Elves with Mordor is because Smoky was not going, for whatever reason, in for the catapults from the Siegeworks level 2. His trolls or drummer trolls were kind of useless. They did nothing but die. So if Smoky would actually get the chance to kind of recruit 5 catapults with Haradrim archers and Easterlings, trust me, Elves can't do much.
You have my sword.
Vespi, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. We fixed that, we can see them glow now even when they activate. Oh, really? Okay, that's okay. I didn't know that. So basically, guys, I take it back. So apparently you are able to see them glowing even when they are using it off screen. Rotmir, thanks for the follow, appreciate it as well. 5 katas can die against 1 good Glorfindel. But I think when you clump the army good enough with Haradrim archers and Easterlings around the catapults, Glorfindel might also die if he gets into the melee range, you know? But you might mess up the army anyway, because I believe the biggest problem of the Elven faction's army is the lack of damage against buildings. They heavily rely on ants, because you have seen how long it took Sauron to be finally able to win, and you just quit the game, by the way. You didn't even lose the game, really, right? You was kind of AFK even in the last 3 minutes, and he was still struggling so much because he was camping, and against campers, elves struggle. And ants are so bad against fire too. Like, you can legit one-shot them. Okay, goblins are having goblin archers now. I mean, they will be good now with the poison arrows, but they just used it for no reason on the orc archers. I think that was not necessary. It has like a semi-long cooldown, like I believe 15-20 seconds cooldown. So you can spam it. Troll, painful, hard to deal with. No mobility. I mean, guys, I'm not saying make katas only and win, you know. Obviously, you need some backup. You need to kind of protect your catapults with something, right? And this can be Haradrim archers, even orcs, or even Easterlings, you know. The troll is going to be taken down. The tunnel has been protected. I mean, that's a huge goblin army, by the way. Lots of archers on the field. But Mordor is killing, right? And look, that is the troll. Also dealing great amount of damage to the Goblin Cave. Goblin Cave is one of the squishiest buildings in the game. Production building. Same to the Orc Pit. They have only 1500 health. Unlike the Man Barracks, the Hall of Warriors is the tankiest one. So if you want to kill production buildings, Goblin Caves are the easiest in the Orc Pits. Easiest production buildings to be taken down. And you know why? You know what I don't understand, guys? You know what I don't understand? Why would you not invest 100 resources only to get them to level 2? To make them tankier and get faster production speed. And even more than that, why would you not invest like in total 400 or something resources to get them to level 3? Then basically you have a free battle tower you know, like imagine every single one of these goblin caves are shooting. That would increase the durability of the goblin cave, of the goblin castle so much. Mavejit, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for following, thanks for subbing to the channel. Really means a lot to me. Lots of goblin archers. And Mordor is holding, not only holding, but putting pressure on goblins. We have 600 command points for goblins, but we have 750 for Mordor. He has 10 power points in the bank. He has now the chance to go for the industry and use it maybe on the slaughterhouse here, which is the best protection in my opinion. Like between Orc Pit and Troll Cage, it's gonna be hard to be taken down. Power points are rising to the sky. The troll is still doing a phenomenal job. And you gotta burst him down. That's your only bet, right? You gotta burst him down as soon as you potentially can. Because look at the money from Mordor. Sooner or later, he will get the chance to be able to recruit a Fell Beast.
Let this be the hour.
Verdi Sunshine. Welcome to the streamer, dudes. You are the sunshine. Thank you for the follow. 825 against 575, and he has even a Burrow expansion, so he has basically only 500 command points. Look how much pressure the mountain troll is putting on goblins. Yeah, he will be taken down, but for which price? You need to hard focus him, right? You need to hardcore focus him, because if you don't, you can even find the orc to eat. By the way, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you can use it when you have a tree in your hand. Apparently you can. I mean, that's even better for the mountain trolls, to be honest with you. He's gonna die now. Look how much pressure though. Oh my goodness, so much pressure. Where is your own fissure? You need your fissure. I believe spamming goblins only is not gonna work against Mordor after the first 5 minutes. I believe, you know, you will get outskilled. Industry, holy moly, guys. The money is going brr for Mordor. Look his money. He's gonna get a Fell Beast on the field. It's a matter of time. Like, it's not if, it's just gonna be there. The question is when. When is he gonna get a Fell Beast on the field? There is a battle tower protecting this pathway. I mean, again, maybe that's not the best map for the goblins either, you know. It's not the biggest map in the world. And I would say on a map like Jungles or Far Harad, goblins would have potentially a better chance, but not on this Sorrowile map. It's kind of small, not too small, but it's not big either, you know. Normal towers do more, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not saying the normal tower, they would act like a battle tower and deal the same damage, but again, it's better than, you know, having nothing that can shoot, right? So imagine if you have like 5 buildings shooting and having much more HP, and all of that for 100 resources, and you get 10% faster build speed too from a level 2 only, you know, and get double the HP, right? I believe the HP jumps from 1500 up to 3000. Warchan on this Goblin Archers. Many orcs up on the field.
Warrior, build me an army worthy of Mordor.
I mean, guys, come on now. I believe Sauron is the one guy who was kinda finding the ASMR, guys. Come on now. The Twitch ASMR only got famous because it was actually Sauron from Lord of the Rings who found about ASMR. Build me an army worthy of Mordor. They asked me, by the way, guys, they asked me for the Lord of the Ring Prime, hey, can you be a voice actor? You know what I'm saying, with your accent? And I said, what am I supposed to say as a voice actor? They said, all you gotta say is like hitting like a truck in multiple different languages. So I need to say it in Turkish, German, English, and that's it, you know? They would pay me a lot of money, but I said, nah, that's for my stream and for my viewers exclusively. I'm not selling that for money. No, no, no. Orc archers are actually demolishing the goblins. Look at the minimap. Dude, that's so bad. Come on now, so bad. Like, what can you do now? I mean, he misplayed. Like I said, that's kind of overkill. Like, going for 4 or 5 goblin caves, it's just not meta anymore. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go for something else. But the question is, what is the one-way solution? Other than winning the game in the first 10 minutes? I'm just curious. I think goblins are doomed after 10-15 minutes in this matchup. Vur kırbacı. Oh, there was like 2 poison arrows, right? Look, they'll still almost no damage. Did you guys see that? I mean, there was like 2 goblin archers, this 2 with poison arrows on this troll, and dealt like 10th of his HP. Oh my god, look, the thing is, Maru is so rich that he can even throw Mustafa now with the Corsair's bombardment ships. Are you kidding me? He's so rich. I mean, he could go just for like a game-ending moment, right? I mean, at this point, he can even go for the Witch King if he wants to, right? Look at his money. He has almost 5,000 in the bank. So he can even go for the big boy himself. But what he does instead is just going for the bombardment ships. By the way, these ships, guys, they are kind of useless. The reason why I'm saying that is they miss a lot of shots. They miss like, once I counted, from like 10 shots, they hit only once. No kappa, by the way. Like, they are horrible aimers, those Corsairs. I'm happy that they are not playing like CSGO or something. Imagine you playing CSGO with the same bombardment skill like a Corsair on the ship. You would get flamed hardcore from your teammates. He has 3 bombardment ships. That's such a meme, dude. I mean, no, guys, I'm telling you, I've seen many games on this map, and nobody ever went for the steel towers and Corsairs to get the money. Nobody ever. And we are not talking about the 5 games. I think I'm talking about like 50 games on this map at bare minimum. That happened never. So basically, it's so like so hard to afford it, right? So you need to capture this. Kill the goblin lair, capture this, go for the Umbar transport ship, put a unit inside, hope that the unit is strong enough to fight against the Corsairs with forged blades. Kill them, kill the tower to get the money. Imagine how hard this is to accomplish that. But what I would love to see now, as the Witch King is coming very soon for Mordor, I want to see Witch King flying to this tower, killing the tower Corsairs, getting dismounted to pick up the money and get mounted again to fly away. Imagine that. So much attention has to be paid for that, you know? And Mordor is just crushing. He has even fire arrows purchased on this goblin orc archers. Can you imagine that? Fire arrow purchase too from the where did he purchase it actually? How can he shoot with fire? Mustafa is not gonna say a word. And unlucky, what can I say? I mean, that's the definition of a great comeback. Maru was 0-2 behind. Then he was able to not win 1, not 2, but 3 games in a row. And the victorious player is Maru